Got Tom's address? Good. You should get on all right with him. He's a great one for books. Used to be a rabbiter before he went to Melbourne. Started taking in lodgers. Once he finds out you're a writer, he'll look after you. Do you want me to post that, Alan?
No, I'll do it in the city. Be quicker.
Turn out all right?
Dunno. You should have read it.
I'll read it when they print it. What time's your first interview?
3 o'clock. Suppose I should have told him about me crutches and the letters.
Why? You're going for a job as a clerk, not a long-distance runner. Now, don't you be too humble, son. Bosses aren't doing you a favour by employing you. They wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the workers. There you are. Now, you're as good as them, if not better. Now, you remember that when you're facing them.
Richmond. Got to be around here somewhere.
I couldn't live without reading. It was the same with me old man and his old man before that, he reckons.
That's good.
Yeah, I only read true things, though. No lies for me. I'm only after the truth, and that's a fact.
There's nothing like it, is there?
Oh, I love a good book. You ever read True Detective magazine?
No, I can't say I have.
Best read there is.
Yeah, well, how much is the rent?
Oh, 7 and 6. No meals provided.
I've come to see Mr. Simpson, please.
Got an appointment?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. I'm a bit early.
What's your name?
Marshall. Alan Marshall.
I'll see if Mr. Simpson's available.
Ta. The young man slipped his crutches from beneath his shoulders and sat down heavily, as if his muscles had suddenly lost the power to support him.
Mr. Simpson will see you. First door on the left.
Thanks. Mr. Simpson?
Yes, that's right. Well, sit down, sit down.
Thanks. I'm sorry I'm a bit early.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. So you're on crutches, eh?
Yeah, infantile paralysis.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, but it doesn't affect my work. I've got a reference here from a previous employer.
Yes. Why did you leave?
Well, no future.
You'd have been well advised to have stayed. These are hard times, and there are worse ahead. There must be hundreds of young men who would have been glad to have been in your position.
Well, the job was temporary anyway.
Mr. Marshall, it's not easy to be frank in a case like this. Your credentials aren't bad. It's being crippled that's the problem. You see, the work here involves carrying heavy books from the strong room to the desks.
Oh, I can carry ledgers.
Yes, but there are stairs and...
I climbed your stairs. If you'll read that, you'll see that my crutches didn't interfere with my work at all.
You don't understand. The work here is quite different. It demands a strong, healthy body. I'm sorry.
You can't tell me a thing I don't know about crutches. Spent 3 months on them. Skiing accident. Don't you get sore under the arms? Very few people know about that. I was red raw for weeks.
Yeah. That can be one of the problems.
I know you won't mind my mentioning your, well, physical disadvantages. They are, of course, obvious. I won't gloss over them. However, they render you unfit for office work, the kind that's demanded nowadays. I'm sorry.
City murmurs reached him as he sat under the elm trees. Soon he would be part of that murmur, suggestive to him of powerful life.
Come on now, only 2 more days left to see the glorious Norma Telmad. Norma in the colossal presentation of life's greatest problem. Plug up, carried son, go and have a look. Love that brings ruin and heartache in the house of a wealthy libertine. Or love that takes her to the arms of her chauffeur. How will she decide? What are you doing there, mate?
I'm just getting down what you're saying, if that's all right with you.
What I'm saying? Why?
Well, you got a great choice of words and I'm a writer.
See the conflict of a good woman tempted by the lusts of the flesh. Front seat 6pence, back seats a shilling.
You're a writer, are you? What do you write?
Oh, short stories, that sort of thing.
Books.
One day, yeah.
Run along. Off you go.
I'll give you a kick in the arse if you come back here again.
Come along, girls. Come and hold your boy's hand in the darkness of romance. Come and see the glorious Norma swoon in the arms of her virile lover.
Books, eh? There's no future in them.
Why do you say that?
Have you seen all the books in the shops? Never have time to read them. Never get through all them in a lifetime. Anyway, we know what's in most of them.
What?
Johnny! Johnny, wait. I'm sorry. I've said I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that's what you always say. I'm sick of you. Will you let go?
Don't leave, please.
It's finished. I don't want you anymore. You don't give me any peace. You go on and on and
I'll kill
on.
myself. I mean it, Johnny.
Well, we've been through all this before. I knew I should never come with you again. Will you let go of me?
How does she decide? See the conflict of a good woman.
All right, come on. I'll take you home.
Front seat sixpence, back seat's a shilling.
Bloody fool. She's got no dignity. Got a ciggy to spare? Rain, stop. You want to come with me?
No. No, thanks.
Suit yourself.
What's wrong with you?
Paralysis.
Bastard, isn't it? Where you from?
Tarala. It's out west. About 130 miles from here. How about you? You from Melbourne? You got family?
Family? And I said to her, oh, Christ, don't leave me. Don't take the kids away from me. They're all I got. And that's why I used to slave myself to death. The kids are all I had. I said to her, tried to say it. Could have shot him. One day I will. I'll shoot the bastard.
How old were your kids?
Jean was only 8. She'd come to me and she'd say, will you have a cup of tea? Wasn't that lovely? She can make it just like you can. She was good at it, she was. And George, I'd be, I don't know, about 14 now. I brought him up just like I was brought up on the war spite. Every morning he'd clean his teeth and brush his hair. And when he come home from school, he'd clean his teeth and brush his hair again. Wonder what's happened to him now. And to Jean.
You ever think of suicide?
No, I don't. Well, suppose I do.
Never in relation to myself.
I do. I think about it all the time. Trouble is, you might do it just too soon. Better to wait. What are we doing here anyway? Heard the Chinese don't give a damn if they die. So I am about the bloody time. Be so easy to slip off, you know. I don't know. Might be hard. Couldn't say till you tried it.
What's the difference? We'll all be dead in 50 years. Say 100 people were killed in Collins Street. Papers would be full of it. But in 100 years, they'd only say it was a nasty accident. No one would be bothered.
You go the method, do you?
Yeah, a bit. Sometimes. When there's nothing else.
Must be hard to knock off the grog.
You can't. That's the trouble. You just can't. Like to be up there. Up high, looking down on the world. Tell you, you'd be bloody staggered at what you'd see.
Sins, brothers and sisters. The sin of greed and idolatry. Ignorance of the scriptures of the Word of God. That is the root of all the trouble in the world today. Besides Paul, who are the others? The mighty ones.
Who cares?
You're full of drink, brother. You see, dear people, if you accept God's word, he will write your name down in the Lamb's book of God.
That's a hell of a lot of pencils.
Shut up and listen. Go ahead. You're a great speaker, lass. God bless you.
Follow him out of the darkness into the light. Cast out evil.
Well, Jesus made wine out of the rocks, didn't he?
Please be quiet, sir. Don't interrupt.
Yes, shut up, why don't you?
You, with a cigarette. Where will you go when you die? I will save your soul.
Here's a soul I want saving. They couldn't manage that.
Let your sins go. Let them all go. We're all going to die. Everyone here is dying.
Yep.
How are you, mate?
Fine, fine. What are you doing here? You're taking a holiday?
No, I just thought I'd come and find out how you were getting on.
Oh, we're looking after him.
It's good to see you, really good.
You look all right?
Oh, well, you know. How's business?
Quiet. Suppose the motor car's taken over the trades. Right.
Easy on the horses, though, eh?
Yeah, they're the only buggers not complaining.
I still haven't got a job.
Yeah, well, these things take time. We knew that, Alan.
Yeah. Well, sit down, eh? Tom's been really patient.
Yeah? You said your old man would take care of the rent.
Oh, yeah, he will.
You wait till Alan gets some money from the Bullet and he'll be a rich man then. Oh, you want to be writing for the True Detective magazine. I keep telling you. They print only the truth. Things you don't read in the other papers. Is that a fact? Like in this latest copy I got. I'll lend it to you, Alan. There's a story in it about a girl in America and this dirty big sod took her out in his car and raped her. It's all there in the story. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Heard from your father? He brings her back into the township and she goes and tells the True Detective fellas all about it. A few days later, they pick up a fella, they show him to the girl, and she takes one look at him, she says, "That's the chap."
And was it?
Whatever the cops did to him, he insists it wasn't him. They even put the bloody 3rd degree on him, still says it wasn't him. Judge give him 10 years. And you should have read the things he said about him before he sentenced him. Called him everything he could lay his hands on. Anyway, some of these true detectives have doubts that he's done it, see? Year later, they pick up a fella and he's a spitting image of the fella in jail. Well, it took them a while to find the girl, but finally they found her. Showed her the new bloke. She takes a look at him, she says, "Have they let you out of jail?" "This is a different fella," they tell her, "and you could have knocked her down with a feather." Anyway, they shoved this fella in and they let the other fella out. There's a photo of her shaking hands with the fella they've let out. And she says to him, it's all there under the photo, "I publicly accused you of raping me, and now I publicly say you didn't." Tears are running down her face, it said, but you couldn't see it in the photo. Anyway, she said that after she'd met this fella, she knew he'd never rape her. It's all there. And the photo.
Yeah? Well, that's great, mate. I bet they got married, eh, and lived happily ever after?
No, they didn't. Well, it didn't say so anyway. I'll get the copy for you, Alan. Might give you some ideas.
Righto. Well, you doing any more writing, son?
Yeah, I've started. This time it's about the derelicts and the methos. Blokes who've got no place anywhere. Well, I can talk to them, seeing as how we've got similar problems.
Oh?
Yeah, well, we're all outcasts on the unwanted list.
Hell, Alan, you're as different from them as chalk from cheese. Those blokes, well, they're at the end of the road, nowhere to go. You're just setting out.
Yeah. But I've got to face the fact that on the whole, people don't accept me here the way they do at home.
Yeah. Well, as long as you don't let it get you down, son.
Hey, Bluey. Wake up. Time for breakfast. Reminds me of Terrella. You'd wake up in the morning and look out the window, and everything would be like it was ready to sing. Not just the birds, but the trees and the grass.
Off on your rounds again, are you? How's it going?
Well, my old man used to say that there's some who break a horse's spirit by taking him for a long run. I reckon they get the fight out of him that way.
And you're running out of wind, are you?
Just about.
I'm sorry you've come to this. Please don't feel embarrassed. I had a son once, he was crippled. So you see, I know what it's all about. Please. God bless.
Thanks. Thanks very much.
Your qualifications, I'm pleased to say, are quite adequate. However, that is not the point. There are, as you can imagine, other problems. I wish I could employ you, young man, but you just wouldn't stand up to the work.
I need the money.
Yes, yes, of course. May I offer some advice? You should learn making baskets. There are institutions where they teach that sort of thing, and they do a lot of good, and they help people like yourself. Can I help you?
I can manage.
Baskets? Bloody baskets. Jeez, what do you say to a bloke like that?
He fancied he was being noble. Full of Christian charity.
Well, you forget about him, son. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, and there'll be another bloke like him. Melbourne's full of them.
You find him anywhere, Alan. Anywhere in the world where people want to make others work for them. There's only one thing in that bloke's head. How to make a bloody profit.
I don't understand how it is that one bloke can have the power to stop another from making something of himself. Well, I don't just mean me. Well, think of all the waste. How many blokes are there running around who could have been someone or done something if some bastard behind a desk hadn't put a stop to it?
Yeah. Well, you're not the only one with problems. I'm going to have to sell the coach. Horses.
Well, what'll you do?
I don't know. Might go to South Australia. Put me money into a fishing boat. And I'd like you to come over there. When I get myself sorted out, perhaps you'll write a story about us fishermen, eh? Got that bulletin for you, Alan?
Thanks, Tom.
Guess we'll have something to celebrate. No good, eh?
No good.
Oh, come on, Alan, son, you can take it. Who wants to read the bulletin anyway?
Well, go on. Take a look at what they say.
You write of a place where a prosperous businessman takes a different wife each time. But you leave out the most important thing of all. The address of this paradise. Well, it's not too bad, mate. Bloke thinks he's got a sense of humour.
I am sick and tired. I'm going home.
Remember? You said I could never ride. Watch me. You coming to the picnic, Alan?
Well, we have two men back in the house again, eh? Won't have to work nearly as hard now.
Horse is just like a man. He's at his best when he gets a fair deal.
How are you keeping, Mother?
Fine, fine, just fine. How long will you be staying?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe forever.
He's come home, Bill, for good.
Oh,
For
that's
a while at least.
good. Glad to see you. Come and sit down.
Where's all the rest of your things?
Oh, at the station.
Oh, this is Leela Jackson, Alan. Her people moved into the cottage down the hill.
How you going, Leila?
She's staying here for a while. In Mary's room, isn't she?
Your mother's not too well just now, and they got 4 other kids.
Well, how's Mary?
She's good, good. She's a nurse now at the district hospital.
She comes home on her days off.
Yeah, you did the right thing. Good man.
Yeah, well, it's twice as hard now finding work.
Yeah, I know. If I was half as bad in my job as those blokes who run in the country. I'd have been thrown by the first horse I got on. That broke me neck. The little bloke. It's a fact now. Who thinks of the little bloke these days?
Boys leaving school are cheaper. Now that I'm older, they have to pay me more.
Well, that's only right. You've had experience now, haven't you?
Yeah, have you had a look in your room yet?
No.
Come on. Well, what do you think?
It's a beauty.
It was a bargain, wasn't it?
It didn't work properly, so you fixed it up.
I don't know what to say.
Well, we just thought it might come in handy.
Oh, it will. It's the best present I ever had.
Come on, have your tea.
I'll have to learn how to use it.
Oh, you'll soon get the hang of it. Listen, you forget about that office job. You'd be a writer. Show the whole lot what you can do.
Cripes, you'd be sorry for the horses in the city, Dad. They're like prisoners. Jailed for life.
I suppose there'd be too many of them left these days, would there? The day of the horse is coming to an end. No doubt about it in my mind. Sad thing, but there you are. Remember that grey I broke in for McPherson? It was a good horse. Pulled his buggy for nearly 10 years. Then he ups and buys a motor car. Sent the grey to the knackery. Jesus. I think a bloke would have enough common decency just to let his old mate crop the grass in peace. There's still plenty of life left in that grey. That McPherson was a stingy bastard. And always knew he was.
I can trot like a horse.
So can I.
I can canter too. You're lucky you're on crutches, aren't you?
Yes. Perhaps I am.
That's Sally. She's my sister. Sally! You coming for a walk?
I'll ask Mum.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I've got 3 sisters and 1 brother, but they're at school. Sally isn't. She helps Mother when she's sick.
Oh.
I saw a blue wren this morning.
Where?
Outside the kitchen window.
Perhaps it'll build a nest.
I'd like to be a bird. A little bird with brown wings.
Can you sing?
Wait till I get my voice up first.
She makes up her own songs.
Does she?
I'm a bird flying. Don't go, bird. I'm high over the trees. The trees, the trees, the trees. That's all.
You ought to be a singer, not a scrubbing lady.
I'd like to be a fairy.
Nobody can be a fairy. Pick something sensible.
A cow, then.
I'd like to know what it feels like to be a cow. Wouldn't you?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Thanks. Well, old dogs get restless.
Yeah, I know. Melbourne's 130 mile away. It'd be tough for a bloke to make it in a horse and cart.
It's been done before.
Yeah, but not today. With all them motor cars on the road. And they think they own it.
I hear there's a move afoot to make these people have driving tests.
What difference do you think that's going to make?
Oh, you have become a pessimist.
Well, none of us getting any younger.
G'day, Mr. Radcliffe.
Oh, Alan. Oh, you're looking none the worse for your adventures. How was Melbourne?
I don't think it's for me.
Oh. Mr. Radcliffe's talking about moving there.
Well, the few friends I have are in Melbourne.
You got friends here?
You're about the only ones.
Once you miss the bush?
I'll have to take it with me. In my head.
I'll give you a horse a drink.
I read your last story in the bullet. It was a beauty.
Thanks.
You writing something else?
Well, the mind's still willing, but
Thanks, mate.
the hands are not.
Well, I've got a typewriter. I could lend it to you if you like.
I don't think that'd solve the problem. Anyway, you'll be needing it yourself. Your father tells me you're about to embark on being a full-time writer.
Yeah. I started out really well. Got a rejection slip.
Well, that's what you expect first up.
Dad doesn't know. I haven't had the guts to tell him yet.
Well, don't be discouraged, Alan. Would have been strange if your first story had been accepted.
In a way, I don't mind that much. Not anymore. As long as there's the bush, nothing seems to matter. I could be quite happy just drifting, doing nothing.
For how long?
Except that Dad's got such faith in me. I can't let him down.
Who says you will?
Well, I make notes and notes, but when I sit down to write something, I feel as empty as a sack. Sometimes I think I lack the brains to write anything more than my notes.
How old are you now?
19. Oh, I know, I've got to live, but how can I when I haven't got a job? I've got no experience to fall back on when I write my characters.
Do you think you'll only get experience by being an accountant? I'd say you've gained experience already while looking for a job. Meeting other people.
They've got no life of their own. So they come out onto the streets at night to try and find it in others, but the others are just like them. They've got no fight left, no voice.
You've gone through an experience that's familiar to thousands of young people everywhere. Trying to establish yourself in the world outside, become independent. You're struggling now like millions before you. Millions now, millions will in the future. There's not a moment in your life when you don't gain experience. Experience that links you with at least a part of humanity. And when you write, that's what you must keep in mind.
You come over any time you like. We don't see enough of you.
Right, well, you're all set then.
I'll drop by soon, if you don't mind.
Well, until we meet again. Come on.
He's such a lonely man.
Oh, he's all right. His brain's as sharp as ever it was.
It's hard to believe he's made so few friends over the years.
He's honest. That's his trouble. He don't pretend to be something he's not. A lot of time for that man.
Well, I'm off to bed.
No.
Night, love.
Now, son, I've been thinking. Now, I don't want you to think I'm interfering. Instead of writing about the people you meet, why don't you write about your family? No, I don't mean us. I mean the past. I know you want to write the truth, but their stories are the truth. You take your grandfather. Now, there was a man. Red-headed Yorkshireman. Have a look at him. know how he met my mother?
Yeah, you told me, Dad.
Strode down there onto the wharf with a ship laden with Irish girls out looking for work in the colony. Who'll take a chance? Who'll marry me? My mother said, I'm willing. I'll marry you. And they never balked at hurdle. Went straight over it. Always somehow managed to land on their feet. You haven't touched that typewriter, have you?
No. I sent a story to the Bulletin. They rejected it.
Hell, they did. Oh, you know, be put off by what one scribbler says.
Well, I'm not. It's just I reckon I got a hell of a lot to learn.
Yeah. What's Frank Radcliffe had to say?
Well, he's reading it. I've let him have my copy.
Well, let's go and see him tomorrow. It's just up and gone.
Where?
Melbourne. Neighbour reckon he helped him pack his bags.
And when did he leave?
Day before yesterday.
Funny he didn't come and say goodbye. Perhaps he didn't like my story and didn't want to say.
No, rubbish. He'd tell you to your face. So next time, you can do it better. Walk on. They're getting up a search for Frank Radcliffe. He was going to call in at the Gardner Hotel. He hasn't shown up.
You going too?
Haven't sighted him. Let's take a look around. Get him. go and get someone to give us a hand.
Righto.
I've never seen Dad that cut up about anything.
He worries. He just worries.
I'm going to be over at Tom's all day tomorrow. Give me a man with A.
Will he let you have some of it again?
I hope so. Good stuff. I think it'll over.
Going to look for a job again.
What are you, tired of living in the bush?
Can't stop here forever.
Son, it's not going to be any easier than it was last time.
Yeah, I know. But I reckon it's worth another bash.
Now listen, you're not doing this because you think your mother and I don't want you anymore.
No, of course not.
Good. Good. You're a good bloke,